We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
Lots of interesting things coming your way today, from a robust menu to a knowledge drop box, well, hopefully, and most importantly, a historical background that you don't want to miss. And none other than the man with a historical perspective, the erudite, indefatigable national youth leader of our time, editor-at-large of the newsguru.com, and also the one we call Mr. Godwin Etakibwebu on Tuesday. He is known as the Guru on Monday and is here to take us on this very smooth voyage. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Adu. How are you doing?
Fine.
Today I'm lost in the sea of accolades as we're rolling them out. I did not know again either you were referring to me or somebody else.
Well, I am referring to you.
Thank you very, very much.
It is my pleasure.
Today we are going to take it differently because 4 Mondays from today will be my 3rd year anniversary on Lagos Talks 91.2 as the Guru. 4 Mondays from today. That will be on the 4th of October 2021.
Mm-hmm.
That will be exactly 3 years that we started the journey. And so far, I think so good. But I'm not to take that decision. Listeners out there. But the challenge of today is that what are you going to do to keep this show on? You don't want me to tell you the cost of keeping this segment on air for even 1 hour. Oh, I may die hard. Oh, I listen to you fervently. Oh, I cannot. Oh, yes, thank you very much. I want to thank you for your patronage. But what are those concrete steps you are taking to ensure the continuity of this program on air? Otherwise, I might just go into conspiracy with Adu. I will collapse the program on 4th of October. It's possible. It's possible. But it all will depend on you. So we want to have your feedback on those things that you'll be able to do to keep the program on air. It costs megalistic hell of money to keep on running it. Which portion I pay? The industries, why can't you sponsor? The big organizations, the big names. So, you are welcome. Adu and the Guru, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Right. Today, many things will be missing. Many things will be coming on board. Historical perspective is missing today.
Okay. But I'm sure there's something more robust that replaces it.
Of course. And Adu said, maybe, did you use the word maybe on historical...
on knowledge drop box?
Or probably.
Probably.
Probably. Probability will carry the day. I want to believe that. Now, I tend to having my 2 friends here with me today. But it's just about 15 minutes ago, one of them phoned in to tell me that there was a family emergency matter. So he will be able to make it. Of course, the days he made it, it wasn't because I forced him and I sympathize with this. It ran part of my blood out of my system, but all they say we have to deal with it. But the good news is that another one is here. Another of my friends that I invited is here. Charles Kalu. I really don't know how to describe him, but I know that he's a journalist par excellence. He's a brain that I respect. I'm not saying this because he's sitting with me here. No. He's a brain that I respect. He's a man with not only the mechanism of researching things, but when he researches. Jerry Ghana, when he was a MAMSA Director General, would have referred to it that if you are a researcher, research well. Charles Carlo is a researcher and he researches well. He's nothing but a embodiment of knowledge. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you to be here with you, Guru. Thank you.
And now, like I do said, today dimension is a different dimension entirely because I have decided to move after 3 years. I've decided to move the show to another arena. That you want to look at it and say, could this be the show that I've been looking over the years? No. This must be something new. That's the introduction. I'm introducing that aspect into it today. And this is going to continue. But then, depending on your response, if you are doing nothing to keep the show on, this new innovation may not live beyond 4th of October. So, we are waiting for you. If it is to beg you, we beg you. If it is to casual you, to casual you. But if we will tell you, please, we need you to keep the show on. Because there was a time I was going to travel around the whole of west coast of Africa and to some Sahel region when an arrangement was made for me to meet the Miete Allah Shaman, our president for Nigeria, and then the Miete Allah Shaman for the West Africa coast, and equally the Sahel. That would have been a journey that would have cost millions and millions of. Somebody called it to say, I knew why the person asked the question that day, because that was the era where Fani Kayode, somebody asking that who is sponsoring this your movement of going from one state to another. So that somebody called you and said, who is going to sponsor this? Are you the one? I said, of course, the little I have is what, but if you bring, I will. I said, that journey collapsed for reasons of two people that may not want it. One of them is a governor in the north. Let me not mention his name. He wanted me to start the journey from Mali, as against starting from Zaria, where we should have started. Then I said no. I suspected I cancelled. So there is a lot of money we need to bring new innovation to your domain. Please think of it seriously. The first thing I want to say today, as a replacement for historical perspective, is this. On which day is this now? Thursday last week. That was September 4th, 2021. Somebody called my phone, the normal phone I give out publicly. Somebody called it and I picked because I don't play with it. Some people had called me to tell me that I should move to their home to help them clean the toilet that was too dirty. But it will stop me from picking the phone. But this was around 5 p.m. or what we call 1700 hours. The person called me and said, he said, the guru, there is a terrible accident on Third Milan Bridge and people are dying now. And we've called the emergency people, the number, and nobody is coming. And they've called every person. And that about 2 of them had gone into a state of coma, but that the bleeding was much. Then I asked him just a question. Is it inward to the island or outward? He said inward to the island. I said, okay, let me see if they will answer me. And I called the operation room of the police. The operation room did not pick. The phone was ringing, but nobody picked. So I now called the chairman of Lagos State Task Force. He did not pick. No, his phone did not go. Then I sent him a text message quickly. That's also report is on. So within a minute or two, he replied me immediately. Said, we are taking action, sir. Then I now called the commissioner of police, Lagos State. His phone rang, but he did not pick. I now called his PRO, the chief superintendent of police, and he told me that we will do something immediately. Within 5 minutes, the person who called me now called back to say, sir, thank you very, very much. So police with ambulance had come and that they've moved the people. That only 2 looked like lifeless, but the remaining one had been moved. I want to appreciate this man that made the call. I'm not appreciating the effort I play, but I want to appreciate Ogo Anthony, because that is the way he gave his name. Of course, I'm not going to give his number out. He did a very, very good job. If he did not call, probably some of those lives that are probably alive today would have been gone. This is what we should be doing in Nigeria. This is what we should be doing. Nobody says that when you see something accident like that, borrow your great grandfather's bicycle and ride to the police station, because the police may detain you in those days. But today, everything has been made easy. Pick the phone and call, and there will be response. You are saving lives. Ogo Anthony, I want to thank you preciously for what you did. You saved life. Please keep it up. And it is those type of phone calls that I want to be receiving, not the ones that are calling me that a rat came into the house and it's looking very much that the rat picked a bunch of meat from my wife's pot. What can you do to help me? And there are some calls similar to that. So that's for that. Another thing we should look at is Saleh Mama from Taraba State was the Minister of Mines and Power that was sacked. Heavily. The Muhammadu Buhari would know it's not always in the business of sacking people. Those are appointed. No. And to sack the young man, because he's 63 or 65, was this old, not too old anyway. It should be within the same range with Muhammadu Buhari. That is Mohammed Nanono. He's from Kano State. I said it earlier. Saleh Mama is from Taraba State. Please, myself. I want to ask the public, please, can somebody educate me why Buhari sacked these people? Please, when you want to educate me, forget about what the Femi additional said. No. Take it from your in-depth knowledge. There must be reason, because Muhammad Buhari is not in the business of sacking any person. Because but they sacked them. Or could it be? I just want to throw this in. Mohammed Nanono last year budgeted building of a mosque in Kano. He's from Kano State. Placed the budget of building a mosque in Kano, somewhere in Kano, in the budget of Ministry of Agriculture. And from that budget of Ministry of Agriculture, they went to build a mosque.
30 million naira, by the way.
30 million. The amount is not the issue now. The issue is that why has Nigeria left the secular state it claimed to be and moving to building of mosques from our own money, budgeted? Was that budget really the one that was approved by the National Assembly? And the National Assembly heard of it and did not say anything. Or could it be that Saleh Mama, October last year, around 22nd or so of October, he finished a proposal to bring Shad Republic or the Nigerian National Grid in a country where our electricity is as lively as epileptic. Could that be the reason? I don't think this would be the reason. But please, listeners, I want you to educate me because I want to know.
Because if those were the reasons, then 50% of the cabinet should not be there?
No, if those were the reasons, then 98.8% of the cabinet is supposed not to be there. So, we want to know the reason. You can help us out. Or Shaz, before we move into main issues, can you help me? In a minute.
Guru, thank you for inviting me. I looked at it differently because I still believe that the cabal that is supporting Buhari are still there. Okay, they are still there. Possibly there could have been some altercation between them and these two particular ministers, especially holding very true, particularly important portfolios of power and agriculture.
Yes.
And you also know the kind of contracts that really goes in there and the kind of budgetary allocation that goes into those two ministries. So yes. I still believe that there could still be some underlying altercations that must have happened between these ministers and this particular cabal, or whoever they are, that may have gotten to a point where, look, since you may not be bulging, fine, whatever report we are representing to the president, there has to be a question mark as far as two of them were concerned. You know, that's my own personal
Thank you
opinion.
very much, Shaz. I think you brought me closer to a saner atmosphere. Because it is not the character of Muhammadu Buhari.
Absolutely, it's not.
It's not. And this one so happened, and this is a minister that did not know the meaning of food, abundance of food or no food, who told us at the time, not us. We told the International Organization on Food when they meant that the abundance of food in Nigeria, nothing like scarcity.
Exactly, nothing like us. Nigerians were not hungry.
The Nigerians were not
He
hungry.
told us so. So we hear that possibly.
And this young man, with non-electricity in Nigeria, decided to go to Chad to bring.
No, but Guru, one of the things that
Sorry, can you help me?
one of the things that Mr. Femi Adesina said was that an independent and critical self-review was carried out. The question is, who was the independent panel?
Maybe they borrowed Akpabio forensic.
Okay.
Okay. Now, today we have few menu, but those menu we are not going to track and trash. I will just ask my guests, the two guests, I was to ask them the question. But now that I am left with only one, I will just throw a question to them, just two minutes. Then we move to the issue at hand. The issue at hand today is this. Buhari orders investigation of 6 trillion investment in NDDC. Last week also, Akpabio submitted to the president the forensic auditing of NDDC section. That is
2021,
2001.
to 2019.
2001,
2001 to 2019.
because it was
Obasanjo.
the act was signed in 2000, sometime July, August in 2000.
Okay.
Yes.
Now-
Obasanjo.
The report was submitted.
Yes, please.
Charles, we shall drill into this, please. We shall go down there. But I want you to be a little more holistic. You have already been holistic. But I'm urging you to be a little more holistic today because we must trash out a few things here. One, in the beginning, let us try to forget about the messenger. Let's zero the message. The messenger in this case, all things being equal, should be Akpabio, Senator, Doctor, His Excellency Godswill Akpabio. And in another directional movement, speedily clumsy, also Muhammadu Buhari also is a messenger. Let us now look at the message that is known. Another thing we should try to do today is, because this is the whole thing we are dealing on, is equally to look at the scenario that a sensitive message like this came. The president was not there to receive it. He became the minister of
Attorney General.
the Minister of Justice, Attorney General of the Federation, that was receiving and saying that the president had ordered that they should be moved to his office. Of course, you came to receive. Why did the president not see himself? We are talking of 6 trillion. Why did the president run away? Where is the vice president?
He's a spare tire, sir.
Okay,
That's according to you.
okay, you are quoting me now.
Yes.
You should have quoted Obasanjo. I told the whole world. It was Obasanjo that told the Atiku Abubakar that, Turaki, take it easy. Don't forget you are a spare tire in this vehicle.
Okay, I'm quoting you on behalf of, because usually if I'm writing a book now, I can also quote you since you quoted another book. So definitely it correlates. I would have expected, more seriously, I would have expected that a report like that, with the controversies that had followed it and trailed it, I would have expected that
Charles,
the vice president, at least.
I have no knowledge of this thing. You are the one that will do the knowledge. Hold it. Then we equally look at the arena or the scenario through which Muhammadu Buhari, the president, instigated this forensic auditing through the instrumentality of illegality. He occasioned illegality in prosecuting the way. One, he nominated board members for NDDC. He sent the names to the ministry, to the Senate, please clear this for me so that I can inaugurate a board, because interim is new to the law that established NDDC. There is nothing like interim management. There is nothing like that. He did very rightfully to that point. The Senate got the names, and the Senate invited all of them for screening. On the day of screening, only one of them, the nominees, did not come. Joy. And while the remaining 14 or 15 were in the Senate being screened, that one that did not come was with Akpabio. Akpabio was inaugurating her as interim management committee chairman or managing director acting. That's an illegality. And the Senate quickly screened the people and returned the names and the list confirmed to the president, and told the president before the Senate went back, Akpabio had inaugurated interim committee. And the Senate now wrote to the president, no, this is not acceptable by law. The Senate quoted the law right. And the Senate told themselves that, and equally passed the message to the House of Representatives, that henceforth, unless those we cleared the board that will come to us with a matter of budget affecting NDDC, but any one of these, we cannot receive them because of the illegality. That's number one. If we have the time also, sir, we equally look at the other arena of it. NDDC was never under the Ministry of Niger Data. NDDC was under the presidency, under directly the secretary to the government
of the Federation.
Government of the Federation.
Akpabio was made Minister of Niger Data. Festus Keyamo was his Minister of State, but there was an agreement that Akpabio cannot work with Festus Keyamo. So Festus Keyamo was withdrawn, taken to labor productivity, and the man from Ondo State was put with Akpabio. Akpabio took over his ministry. Within 3 days, these are authenticated, these are facts on the ground. Within 3 days, Akpabio passed through the then secretary to the chief of staff, the late Abahari, and wrote a letter asking the presidency to transfer the NDDC to his ministry of Niger Data. And within 4 days, he submitted that letter. The letter was approved. And the NDDC was moved from the presidency under the secretary to the government of the Federation to Akpabio. All these are having approval of President Muhammadu Buhari. Then why this was there, many other things follow. So this is why I'm saying maybe we take it from this zone. Charles, since our friend, Barrister Fred Ziaku is not around because of family matter. Charles, Fred, I hope you are solving those family matter properly. Please give them attention, because at the end of a nation starts with family. Without family, you don't get there.
Absolutely.
You don't even get village. The family first. So, Charles, where do you want to start from? But please, let us tackle it 2 minutes or so each. But before you start, I want to ask you this question. Kaduna local government posts are many. Kaduna local government posts. APC loses to PDP Governor El-Rufai Poly unit last week. You have anything to say on this?
That's democracy, because democracy is all about it's if APC, for instance, if APC was the councillor there or the chairman there, for instance, and the person is not doing what the people expect, that is why we say we go to the ballot box and vote the people out.
Okay.
So it's just as simple as that, and it will not be the first.
Okay.
And neither is it also going to be the last, because after all, Jonathan lost in his polling booth at Aso Rock, for instance. Okay. And even President Olusegun Obasanjo, he lost at his polling booth at a point in time in the history of this country at Abeokuta. So it won't be the first, but the main thing now is if they have lost, they have to accept it and move on.
Okay. So El-Rufai lost out. Even at the councillor, He was losing out as of the last count. All right. I will pressurize security agents to track killers of Soul Warrior's brother, Keyamo. I will ask you this question. We are not analyzing. So I will commit you before you do this. What do you call it? Broadcasting NBC. I will pressurize security agents to track killers of Soul Warrior's brother. Could that just be a political statement, or Festus Keyamo, through precedence of one of the ministers, been able to do that? What do you make of it? Just a minute.
I feel it's playing to the gallery too.
Okay, explain to the gallery.
Festus Keyamo and Showore, they are comrades on the streets. They are activists. So yes, they could be in different.
Are they still activists?
Excuse me, sir. So coming forward, you could be an activist as a broadcaster. You could be an activist as a politician.
No, it's Festus Keyamo still an activist.
Well, he could still be, because making this statement also, it sounds like an activist statement, because it says he's going to pressurize the security agencies, which also means if he was not also a minister, he could have also used his good offices as a legal advisor as a legal practitioner to have also pressurized them. But being comrades on the streets, look, whichever way, they could be in different political divides, but he has to push, to ensure that the police gets to identify the people that may have been behind the killing of his brother on the streets.
But considering that his ministry is not even akin to internal affairs or the police ministry,
I think two of you are taking me away from because I said this should not more than one.
He's using his good offices to also pressurize an agency of government as well.
Thank you very much. Another question is this: federal government shuts down telecom activities in Zamfara over insurgency. Charles, not more than 1 minute. Is that the solution to banditry?
It could be that the bandits are winning, possibly because we have not sat down as a country to really see how do we deal with them. Are they bandits? Are they terrorists? You pick up a child of 4 years, you kill the mother, you kill the father, you keep the baby with you for 3 months, 4 months, you're demanding for millions, and you're calling them bandits. I don't understand. So for me, I just think possibly we are even more confused in dealing with this, because we are giving them upper hand. They pick some people at Kaduna, they demand for 400 million and they get it. They pick in Niger State, they demand for 200 million, they get it. They pick in Zamfara, they demand for 100 million, they get it. So definitely, others will also rise from different angles, because as we speak now, sir, I don't think there's any school, there's any boarding school, because almost 70 to 90% of the schools in the north are shut down.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Then, tension as U.S. moves to name Boko Haram sponsors.
We have been living in this since April, May.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
no more than 1.5 minutes.
we have been living in this since April, May. Oh, look, we've gotten them. We are going to prosecute them. When you see this, you will shudder. When you see any ear,
had 400 names.
Any ear that hears this will tingle. Any voice, no, we won't even be able to speak. We've been waiting for this. You have gone about 6-7 states, say you arrested the so-called financiers, especially operators of Bureau de Change. And up till now, we have not seen any. And if you are fighting terrorism, for God's sake, you name them or shame them, whichever way. But the point is, it should be seen. It should be seen that you are also working, making an effort. We do 100 meters dash and we do 200 meters back. It's not helping matters. We are giving these people more, more verve to. Okay, thank you, sir. To hit.
By the way, I forgot to comment on your new beard, your new look. Does this have anything to do with Nigeria's tattoo?
No, we were shut down.
COVID-19.
We were shut down for a long while. So
is it part of the COVID-19 protocol?
So even the barbering salons too were also shut down. Okay. So we couldn't have gotten to them early.
The reason why Wole Soyinka decided never to barb himself when he was a student in the UK. Okay, we'll come to that another time. Now, as we leave this place, is there any way? Are there any show? I do. Please answer. Is there any reason why somebody might be thinking now that the money to me they are terrorists?
Absolutely.
The money the terrorists are taking is part of money laundering that the Nigerian system has just introduced? It's a very quick question.
I don't think so, sir.
Because then I'm not sure they're paid in foreign currency, are they?
Have they told you the currency they pay? Did they ever tell you that they pay?
For the people to be released, of course.
Oh, they told you that they paid?
They didn't tell us that they were paid, but it's implied.
Okay. They pay. The people in Kaduna, the Baptist secondary school in Kaduna, yes. The parents told us they paid. The
question I'm asking, sir, the way this money is moving now to the forest, the home of the terrorists, could it be a Nigerian mechanized way of laundering money? Meaning, where the money is coming from, either government, they are laundering it and return back. Don't forget, those, not Chibok, what's the name of the other, is it the pass or that piece?
Dachi.
Those students were paid, they paid hard currency. Those they flown with plane across the sea.
You see,
is it money laundering?
Now, money laundering could only be, for instance, if
don't go to elaborate.
No, if I decide to now push my money through some other illegal means, but this one is the parents raised these monies. These monies were gotten from legitimate financial institutions. These monies pass through legal means. Is it that Is it that some security agencies would not want to touch, mark these monies to ensure that you've trailed them, you follow them? After all, it was also in this same country that the Farouk, the House of Reps member, Lawan Farouk, and yes, it was also in this country that monies were given to him that were marked.
Yes.
And they traced those money, they tracked them. So how is it becoming so difficult that billions of naira are being passed through kidnapping? And up until now, we can't track them.
I need to go too far. They bought oil, palm oil, they bought rice, they bought beans, they bought power bike.
And even bought nappies for the children and sent to them. Is it that no policeman or nobody would have tracked them?
Thank you. Because very soon, we may want to know now who is the money launderer in Nigeria. Who are the members of the Money Laundering Association of Nigeria?
Maybe EFCC will tell us that.
I don't think EFCC has the mechanism of investigation.
DSS can, because DSS, I think their terms of reference has also been expanded.
But the DSS, we have just been told that they have avalanche of information. The sponsor of this is the sponsor, but no, somebody is not willing to use them to implement it. All right, we'll come back. Now, Akpabio has submitted. I gave just a little background of the whole thing. Where are you starting from, sir? But be very, very short. We want to take it short.
There's nowhere we just have to go. I think the Minister of Petroleum, I think he really wants to ensure that he cleans up all the issues concerning his ministry, from the Petroleum Industry Act to the forensic report or forensic investigation of the NDDC since 2001 till now. Now nobody is stopping it. Yes, the forensic report cost us about over 1 billion naira. Fine, that one too is also another angle to it. But the main thing is the report has been submitted. Agreed. Whichever way it was submitted. Even if Akpabio may have taken it to the junior minister to submit, so long as the president gave that directive, we agree, we accept. But it is now having what they call the political will to now implement it, because the people in the Niger Delta are waiting. Yes, most of them, some have kicked. Some also have accepted that it's a good thing you have done. Some have also said that the recommendations, yes, they believe must have been doctored or somewhere influenced by Akpabio. Okay? But fine, let us now see the implementation of the report, because we hear that over 3,777 projects were identified, that even about 70 of them, people had to run back to go and fix those projects. So I also expected that the report should also give us the names of the individuals and the companies. You know, those are the points we would have also started to say, oh, this man, this project contract was given to him about 4 or 5 years ago, and he had run back to just go and fix it, which also means that is also sabotage. Were you waiting for somebody to push you? So we now wait for the president to now agree that, okay, fine, I have received this. No foot dragging. Because over 3-4 months ago, we heard that some persons have been identified as financiers of terrorism in this country. Up until now, we are waiting by. Is it that those names have also gone underground to stop it? We don't know. But these other reports too, because the Nigerian way of doing things at the end of the day, people are still going, some will go to court. Some will insist that they've completed their jobs. Some will insist that their names are not meant to be there. That is especially if the names are coming in negatively. So definitely people may go to court to also want to stop the implementation of the report.
Okay, you may hold it there, sir. The report indicated that 13,777 compromise projects, 362 bank accounts used. And these 362 bank accounts are for individuals. And the report spoke of too many other things. For example, 3.372 trillion was given to the NDDC through budgetary allocation, while another 2.420 trillion was provided for the commission through statutory allocation. 362 bank accounts, I've mentioned that, were used. Now, and the lead forensic auditor had made some recommendation, like striking of the NDDC board. But the question is that which state will be removed, which state will not be removed. And he equally recommended, I'm coming to you, you are the final arbiter in this matter. He equally recommended that the work of board of directors of NDDC shouldn't be full-time. It should be part-time and many other things. Now, let me read this out. And Adu, if you be ready for me, if you give me encouragement, that is the only way you can be ready for me. Charles.
Yes, sir.
You know the enormity of this job. Obviously, we can't complete it today.
Absolutely, sir.
So you and my brother will come back next week. The people are waiting to hear your voice.
There's no problem. Let's conclude today's one first.
Let's commit ourselves before the public. I am ready.
No, we're already servants to the people, so we don't have any choice.
That is why I'm falling in love with you, like Tega with who were evicted yesterday.
You remember my daddy? Oh, you also watched that?
I watched it mistakenly. Tell me now.
I was sleeping.
What did you? Okay.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
The way you ask me, no. It's an evidence that you were okay, young man.
No, I.
No, not Michael. There is a name because not Michael. Boma. Take out Boma. They clicked and they came out together. I hope they will come. Anyway, let me not deflate if he's having them on this show here this morning. Now, in looking at the matter, the reports were submitted in Ghana Must Go Big, Ghana Must Go Bags. The Ijaw Youth Council had kicked. The Ijaw Youth Council said, you did a good job, but Akpabio should be sacked immediately. Because I spoke, sir, about the means of creating this achievement. It's an achievement. You must call it achievement. The means of illegality. I don't know. When Fred comes, he will add his voice to that. Anything that rides on the wheel of illegality, can it end up being legal?
Can it stand?
Can it stand?
End of the day?
Okay, now, let us move the thing just a little. Meanwhile, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum expressed the difference over the content of the report, stating that it has been vindicated that funds have been mismanaged and warned that culprits in the alleged 30.777 compromise project should not be spared. And who were those contractors over the years? Where were they given authority that contracts should be awarded to them? As we are moving into this arena, I think some people may want to run and come with facts. Okay, now the question is this. Malami, while receiving the report, let me just read what he says, then you take off from there, sir. I welcome you all to the presentation of the report on the forensic audit of the Niger Delta Commission, which report I have to receive on behalf of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. You will see something about that, sir. You will recall the President had ordered for a holistic forensic audit of the activities of the Commission from inception to August 2019 in response to the hearing of the people of the Niger Delta region to reposition it for effective services delivery. It is on record that between 2001 and 2019, the federal government has approved 3.3. What is this?
3.2 trillion.
Huh?
I think 3.2 trillion.
Oh, please read that for me, because I fail my mathematics.
No, that's what federal government approved. That's
okay.
About
trillion.
Yeah, trillion.
Then,
that's trillion.
Then another 2.42948894191 trillion again.
Trillion.
Consequently, the Federal Executive Council approved the engagement of a lead forensic auditor as well as 16 reputable audit firms. While the Federal Executive Council approved this one, it was the time that the illegality of confirming of board members or no board members are on. We will look into this. The President is delighted that the auditors have now completed this exercise and report is today be presented. Furthermore, the President is not oblivious of the interest generated by stakeholders towards the forensic audit exercise and the agitation for the constitution of the board of the NDDC. However, this administration is determined to address the challenges militating against the delivering of the mandate of NDDC to the people of the Niger Delta. It is the broader. The thing is long. Now, sir, do you suspect anything with the messenger?
I'm not suspecting anything with the messenger. The thing is, if the messenger should be able to implement the message, that is what we are waiting for, sir. Because the thing is, now it also means that if they are going to reduce the board, for instance, it means we are going to take back the act to the National Assembly. Mm-hmm. Then the issue of sole administrator will continue. Because already the act is specified. Members of the board are on part-time. Going by, if you understand the act a little, they're on part-time. There are three major, the managing director and two major executive directors who are now part of the main board, because already
administration, finance and administration, then engineering.
Yes, so already the board itself, the larger board has about 10, 12 other directors. Okay, so these are the people there. So these other number are on part-time basis, because when you look at the number, you see one person each from the 9 states. Okay, then we have 3 persons to represent non-oil mineral producing states. That is 3 persons. Then 1 representative from the oil producing companies. Okay, 1 person from Federal Ministry of Finance, 1 person from Federal Ministry of Environment. Now these people are already working in these different agencies and ministries. So you don't expect them to come and have offices at the NDDC. Okay, so already the other 9 as well, the other 9 persons that are representing the states, is taking that NDDC also have offices in these states. So these other individuals will now man those offices. So they also don't have any business at the headquarters. So the headquarters now is at any point in time when there is need for the whole board to meet, then which is also either they meet quarterly, every 6 months, or annually, or every 2 years, depending on how they meet, the frequency of which they meet. So they can now meet. So it doesn't mean that they are on permanent basis.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, because I said you have an issue with the messenger. Now,
I don't have any issue
you have
at all.
answered that.
It's all about having the political will to implement.
You have. I want you to believe that. I want to convince myself that you know the message I'm talking about here now. Because in my earlier narration, I mentioned two messages. The role President Muhammadu Buhari played that made him a message along the line, and the one Akpabio played from beginning of the abracadabra.
Which I've also told you that the president, maybe people may not understand me when I say Minister of Petroleum. I didn't say Minister of State.
Yes, I know.
The Minister of Petroleum is the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. No, in the event that the listener may not understand, it's the President of. So since the Petroleum Industry Act, he signed it within hours. So it means he's going somewhere. So possibly being the minister, and remember, before he also became military president, at some point he was the minister of petroleum. So possibly he now wants.
He was the chairman that established the NNPC.
Exactly. Okay, you can imagine. So he's been there consistently. So possibly he now wants to say, look, before I leave in the next few months, I must make sure, especially this particular sector is cleaned up. Especially, he has also told us he doesn't want to fail. So we too want to encourage him that at any point that will make him not to fail, we'll make sure that he doesn't fail. We'll encourage him.
Okay. Now, sir, because we are rounding up to this section, this is what do you call that food when you go to hotels? I don't go to hotels. It's people that I go to hotels.
Appetizer.
Oh, what? Appetizer?
Appetizer before the main menu.
Oh, before the main. Those of us who are in the village always we don't. This is appetizer. Today's appetizer. Monday next week, we are going to hit the door running at the dot of 9:30. And I would leave the feed for you and Fred. All your wisdom that have been mesmerizing me over the years, please bring it to the marketplace of Nigerians. Because we are going to look at the role the messengers played, then we are going to interpret the message. And one of those roles we shall be looking at, sir, on Monday next week will be the incumbent administrator now in the interim. Who was he along the line? Was he a servant to Akwa Ibom government, served under Akpabio? Was he the same person that Akpabio sent to NDDC to go and serve? Was he the person that is now? We shall look at all this. But I think what we are taking away today, sir, the last word here for today, what we are taking away today is that so far so good concerning the job done. Is that what you are taking away?
Yes, I agree with you there, sir. So far so good.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so far so good. Let's look at the merits of this particular report.
Thank you very much.
Let's take a holistic look at it. Then from there now we can now start, we'll watch. And as the watchdog too, we now see at what point. Because ours is more of to make sure that, look, if these decisions you take, we push you to implement them because we hold you to your word. I was not the person that ordered the forensic investigation. Neither was I the person that gave a timeline for it to be submitted. And it has been submitted. And taxpayers' money had been spent. Over ₦1 billion.
More than that, far more than that.
Far more than that. Had been spent to pay the auditors. So we also expect that at the end of the day, you don't also take these reports that were brought in Ghana Must Go bags. You don't drop them on one shelf to gather dust. Okay? Because it is you that also said this. Because at a point when you say this, by the time we start to report, suddenly you say you were misquoted by the media.
But if you cast your mind back, Mr. Charles, to the public hearing where Akpabio himself was sitting before the panel,
House of Representatives,
and questions were being asked, he indicted a few of them and said they were part of the conspiracy
No, not if you, the most of the contract come to
them.
That is also why we are also insisting, sir, that let the president have the will to implement, because at the end of the day, the individuals and companies who owns them already, just in recently we heard that almost every other senator there had a contract. 1, 2, that even the palliatives, that NDDC even gave to senators and the National Assembly.
Sorry, sir. Are you talking of the palliative that NDDC started sharing before COVID-19 arrived in Nigeria?
Yes, the palliative they started sharing even also went to the National Assembly members. So these are also monies these monies will also be part of the over 3 trillion that had been expended. So these are the things we want to see.
The palliative costs about just only 1.5
billion or something. You know, so we don't say.
And the managing director then, the one that
Ponde, the one that collapsed,
the one that was pondered to collapse, he said, he told her that we should take care of ourselves now. Okay.
So these are the things we only wait for. That look at the end of the day. Then if we start waiting, after a while, the media will also remind them that we have not seen what you promised us.
Okay. In one word, sir, are you sure our waiting will not outlive 2023?
If it does, it will be part of also the baggage we're also going to heap on the present government to now assess if it's a failure, if we're going to give them a pass mark or a failure. So those are the things. The president has already told us that, look, he doesn't want to be seen to be a failure. Yeah, he has possibly, after then, he has also implemented, because we have seen 2 ministers for the very first time being sacked. So because possibly possibly that particular aspect of those 2 sectors may be the areas where if he improves on them, he could give him an A. But right now, possibly he is shuttling between a C and a B. So if I don't chase these 2 men out now and bring a fresh blood to deal with it, I may end up not making the A.
But thank God,
But was it not still the same Ministry of Agric that we had the End Power and Farmer Trader farmer money that was developed as part of the administration's way to encourage farmers and farm credit and all of that? We're still under the same Ministry of Agriculture.
I think those ones go to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. I think they carry all those ones. You remember that before now.
No, we don't have the time anymore. Please, we don't have the time. I'm only just going to remind you that thank God Nanono did not die. You know, did you not hear that the man collapsed when the news came to him that he had been removed?
He said he didn't collapse. He said he didn't collapse, that he wasn't feeling too fine.
Okay.
And doctors advised him to stay in a quiet place.
Okay.
So luckily it coincided with his sack.
Okay.
So when the sack now came, people started sympathizing with him over it. So he now needed a more quiet place to go.
I want to know more the reason why Buhari did what is not his character. You advocated some. But listener, please, Dev, do your research. I want to know the reason. Because why you use the language now that not his way or so, as known by people, it reminded me of 2 books in this country. One, Not in My Way, written by Obasanjo.
Not My Will.
Yes. Then one, Against His Will, written by Ebenezer
Babatope. And one, Accidental Public Servant.
Let's hold it there. Adu, Charles, thank you very, very much. We are expecting you next week. And I will reach out to my friend, Fred Zako. And all of us will be here next week. Adu, what are you supposed to do for us now?
We're going to take the listeners now.
Go ahead, do what you know how to do best.
Numbers to join us on WhatsApp, 0809-234-5913 and 0809-222-0913 is a number to call, as well as 0809-191-3913. Another number to call. You can call us on our landline numbers, 015150-913 and 0151519113. Both are landline numbers. The first number I called out, 0809-234-5913, is the WhatsApp number for the station, so you can send us your messages there. Daddy Jeff from Ikoyi says, good morning, Adu. Please, what is... it says, is this Charles Kalu who produced Joan Hussein in the studio? He's asking.
Please, can you answer?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Adu and the Guru. The mosque in question was built in Borno State. This person is Sadiq Razak.
No, the one built by no, it was somewhere kind there. I know the place.
Okay, Benga from Lagos says, good morning, Adu and Guru. Nigeria became a non-secular state since the introduction of Sharia law, and our leaders accepted it. Secondly, regarding the medical strike, the president should call both parties and do what is right. He should not have a sit-down look posture. The government is pushing us to the wall. Benga is speaking there. Adegbega says, well, I think to contribute to the program, we can help form a WhatsApp group with the help of the Guru. At least contribute maybe 1,000 naira each. It'll go a long way to sustain the lifespan of the program. Imagine having large numbers of people contribute that amount. 1,000 naira can turn into 1 million or even more. It goes on to say all the reasons given by the Guru concerning those cabinet members fired by PMB is none of the above. Building of a mosque with agric budget allocation would have prompted or made PMB and the cabal to fire the agric minister. The minister did the work of Allah. We have seen many state governors using taxpayers' money to fund or build churches. Having said that, I think the Minister of Labour in person of Dr. Chris should have been on the list of ministers fired by PMB. That is where PMB goofed. I would have saluted PMB if Dr. Chris was mentioned. Festus Kiamo's statement on the killing of Soware's junior brother is mockery and joke. The FG is yet to apprehend those that kidnapped and killed the general taken from the Defense Academy. Major, you meant to say. So what makes Soware's junior brother's death special and more important than the kidnapped military officer? Kiamo isn't being sincere.
Adu, Boyega wrote something. Can you take special recognition of that?
Yes, the WhatsApp group.
Yes. Can we discuss it later?
Yes, we will look
Boyega,
into it.
thank you very, very much for that suggestion, because I need everything that can come to the table for continuity of this program on air. Please. Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll discuss it.
One more from WhatsApp. It says, good morning, sir. Tony from Iobo speaking. The Guru, you are fire this morning. I'm enjoying it. You set the gas and hand over the matchstick to your guest. It says the background theme song is making it sound like an action movie as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Charles must be James Bond.
James Bond?
who's in Her Majesty's Secret Service. Tony from Marine Beach says, good morning, great trio in the studio. We await earnestly for the release of the names of the bloodthirsty who are gaining from the unrest and bloodshed in the land. America, please fire on. As far as that mic remains off, Akpabio is not fit for that office. I like that name of our guest coined out for FA somebody. Can it coin out one for Akpabio also? I'm not.
Go to another one.
Okay. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We have a call coming through. Hello? Oh, okay. Please turn off your radio. Call us back. 0809-234-5913 is the number to call. Here is Ade from Ikeja. Says, good morning, Guru and Adu. Why are we deceiving ourselves in this country? The Guru, we all know that the government knows Boko Haram and the bandit sponsors. Only God will save Nigeria from the hands of politicians.
Amen.
Hello, good morning.
A very good morning to you, Mr. Adu.
Good morning to you, Prince Wires. How are you today?
I'm very okay. Greeting to Mr. Guru and our guest in the studio, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
See, this morning, I just want to commend the guests in the studio. The comprehensive give or decay about Niger Delta matter. The way Guru put the question before him, the answer is the way I want. And I say thank you to you. My plea now, go to Mr. President, that if he can set all this forensic panel after the investigation, before he give me the report now. I want the report to be out, all those names that is informed. Because 30,000 contracts, whether abandoned or not done at all, where is the money? What did they do about the money? 3 trillion. Even though Niger Delta is supposed to look like Dubai, but the people who handle the project, who handle the NDDC, Minister for Niger Delta, they have a question to answer. So I want Mr. President to please do something before you go. Let us know who owns the money, who chop anything there, who that make Niger Delta not to develop. That's my stand this morning, my dear.
Thank you very much, Prince YS. Let me correct something. I'm not correcting you, but let me put it on record. You measured 3 trillion. We are talking of 6 trillion here. And by next week, I will tell you the amount of money that went into Dubai to bring Dubai to where Dubai is today. We don't even need 1/3 of the amount of money that went to the Niger Delta and leaving the Niger Delta people in a slum. But thank you very, very much. Charles, thank you again for that.
Guru, if we do an audit as well of other regions of the country in the past 18 years, I wouldn't be surprised if what we see is not too far from what we are seeing with the NDDC.
I will introduce another dimension next week as we shall be closing the narrations. The Northeast Development Commission.
Oh, yes.
Northeast Development Commission was to take off, was given 100 billion naira under the supervision of Major General Tafa. For Charles, I don't think you will forget so easily. You were around then, Tafa the Kubuku.
No, I wasn't around then, sir.
Okay. Tafa the Kubuku. The 100 billion naira that was put there, as of 2 years ago, the money had finished. But without a single tangible thing, the Madam Humanitarian even admitted using 5 billion to buy vehicles for Army and Kwanko. I wouldn't know when that ministry now became the one responsible for shields, for the Army, for defense. Sorry, I'm only lubricating your introduction, Nadu. We shall talk about those next week. We shall bring you thoughts.
Someone has joined us on the phone line now. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Adu.
Good morning to you.
Okay, Emeka from Prestac.
Emeka, go on, please, sir.
Okay. We have seen for me, that forensic audit is just a comedy.
Why do you think so, sir?
Okay. They will use it to bring more people into APC. Just watch and see. These people are playing politics with Nigeria. How can a National Assembly inaugurate or approve a board? President supposed from nominated by the president, an individual is pretending over that board. And now despite all those off your mic, I can't breathe well. And these are the same set of people that say they want to do forensic audit. The same set of people that pay themselves money as palliative before COVID. They are the same set of people that did this forensic audit. A forensic audit of who?
Okay,
who thank you.
Time.
And again, I want to tell government.
Let's take off time, please.
These things you see at NDDC is a...
Okay, please, when we have the opportunity, let us be precise with time because many are still waiting, and the only enemy we have here on air is time.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Kelechi, calling from Surrey.
Kelechi from Surrey.
Me, I agree with the last caller that this forensic audit is just to have something in the skeleton. I mean, to have something on some people to be able to get them into APC. That's what I think that is happening. Meanwhile, I also agree with the guy about the issue of the WhatsApp group. I'm interested. I'm interested. And then, thirdly, Mr. Adu, I want to call the Guru's attention to what is happening in Ojota. SARS is back. SARS is back by Ogudu police station in Ojota. They are laying siege there on daily basis. All the Ojota, both on top of the bridge, down the bridge, inward and outward Ojota, all the part of Ojota, Ogudu police station are laying siege on young people there every day, searching their phones, searching them on the highway. I think somebody should investigate and maybe should just go there and see what is going on there.
Okay.
Every blessed day. There is nothing different between what they are doing there and what SARS was doing. The only difference now is that they are now wearing uniform. And it's becoming very unbearable at Ojota there.
Thank you. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
And thank you for supporting the Adegboyega recommendation on the WhatsApp group. We shall work it out and we shall get all of you involved. Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Adi.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah. What I'm suggesting is that government should take audit of all federal projects across the country from 2009, you understand, to date.
But don't you think we should take the one after
From 1999, sorry, from 1999 to date.
Okay, hello.
All these selective, investigation they are doing, they are just playing politics with it.
Hello.
And they should submit those things to EFCC.
Hello.
How can a president set up something and submitted it to the AGM? For what? To have Secretary of State government, to have a Vice President.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Now,
yeah.
Don't you think we should take them one and after the other? But we are saying that all the agencies, would that not be too clumsy? That's number one. Number two, if you are interrogating, submitting the report to the Attorney General of the Federation, and at the same time you are saying that they should submit the report to EFCC,
they would have submitted to an independent organization that can take cognizance of that report and find the T's and dot the I's. You can't play politics with everything.
Okay, thank you
now
very
they
much.
will use it to block.
Thank you very, very much. Go ahead, Daddy.
Daddy Jeff says, I support the WhatsApp group. Those in support say hi, and the ayes have it.
Okay. The governor will come on the table.
Robert says, the Guru, please, sir, can you contest as Delta State Governor? In 2023, we want change.
No.
I'll be your campaign manager.
No. I have always said it and I shall say it. I am old enough now not to go to defeat, say I'm contesting to become governor of any place. I can encourage my children. That's number one. Number two, I'm not a politician and I will never be in my life. I'm only a political technocrat. And I remain like that until I pass on.
Ahmed Babalola says, please, sir, let's start the WhatsApp group as quickly as possible. God bless the person who started the idea.
Adeboyega. And we will do it. You will hear from us next week.
This is from Abiodun. It says, Adu, it's true that the police lay siege for young people at Ojota on a daily basis. So he's corroborating the story that we got from a caller.
No problem. I will get in touch with the DPO. The DPO of Ogudu happens to be very, very close to me. And she's not one of those police officers that is known for that. But I will get... But equally, don't forget that the movement of the Yahoo boys is becoming so increased these days that the Lagos Zonal Commander sitting here with us last week Monday made a statement that if care is not taken, every family in Nigeria will soon have a returned ex-convict. Please let us remember that. I'm not saying that the police is doing anything, but somebody has to check out. So, but I will check with the DPO If the DPO cannot give me the thing, I will check with the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, and I will make my announcement known.
Chuksum Agopala says, good morning, Adrian the Guru. Please help us talk with Isolo local government to move out all the containers on Agor Palace Way. It's causing serious traffic in that area.
Please send your message to Lagos Task Force. The task force in Lagos, that's one of their works. The task force, many people may not understand, has the most tremendous assignment in Lagos State. It is created, it is under the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, but really it reports directly to the governor. So get in touch with the Lagos State task force. They will get that done for you. Because the guru cannot be the only one going around all these places. The much I can do, I will be doing. I volunteer myself. But please get in touch. Go ahead, sir.
Akbar says, good morning, Adrian Guru. What happens if those indicted now move to APC and use their lot to support an APC re-election?
Okay, what happened is the question he asked. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Maybe Adam's for sure Mole's statement is still within the corridor of power. Cross over to us and your sins will be forgiven.
Meanwhile, Aki on WhatsApp says, good morning, sirs. Nigeria remains a country of the unexplainables. If those in public office are as sincere as the oaths they took, Nigeria should be by now among the top 10 countries in the world. Please help spotlight Ogun State University, Agorwoye. For unrendered services, getting a transcript is more difficult than a camel passing through the eye of a needle.
Even the worst universities, I got a report last week of about 5
Lagos Talks.
across Nigeria.
Yes, we have another caller. Good morning.
Lagos Talks.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, am I on?
Yes, you're on. What's your name, please?
Your name.
My name is Faralai for the Guru. Adu Charles. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, it's good that a forensic audit has been done for NDDC. But the problem is sending that same audit report to a government department to review. How would the government department, Ministry of Justice, review a job done by 16 audit firms to achieve what? 6 trillion was spent over a period, 2001 to 2019. So, for over 13,000 projects, most of which were abandoned. In my village, one was abandoned. I reported the matter to EFCC. I don't know if the culprit that I reported was invited, but I was invited. Oh. After reminding them, I had nothing. My lawyer was annoyed with me that I was making money for people. NDDC is a federal government department, but people have been blaming the Niger Delta people. If any blame is there, the blame goes to the federal government, the presidency particularly, and the federal government in general, because they supervise NDDC. If there's no development in the Niger Delta, it is the fault of the federal government that has put 6 trillion naira into a hole and cannot account for it. And now they are trying to use government magic to deceive the people. How do you pay 16 audit firms to audit a department, and you send the audit reports to the government department to review? To review what? And there is a joke.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Charles. Do you have any word to say to this? Just less than a minute, please.
The man that just spoke is my very good friend, and it's interesting because hearing him, he's very passionate about the Niger Delta. But the point he has also made is, these are all the things we now, over time, will start analyzing. Okay. Having over 16 auditors do this. Could one have done it? Could two have done it? Could it have been done better? Now they brought those, the sacks. They brought the reports in sacks. Okay? So definitely, government is going to put together another committee to look at this and look at the recommendations and recommend again to government. If the recommendations of the auditors is allowed or not. Because ordinarily, the much I know about such auditing is at the end of the day, there's an AGM that now meets to agree and or disagree over what they have given.
Question quickly. Is it a practice in government that when a paper is written, when a panel like this submits a paper, a white paper is expected to be written out of the report by going through other people too? For example, Pius Okigbo,
Report, yes.
the economist, that seasoned economist, who look at the 12.4 fitted away of Babangida.
12.4 billion.
Yes. Now, he submitted this report, and there he directed that the government would do that. And a white paper was written through the setting up of another panel, and that panel was headed by the late Lieutenant General Muhammad Balarabe Khaladu. Is it a practice in government that a panel will investigate something, and another panel will be set up to write a white paper out of it?
And another panel will also be set up in the event that there's any queries over the last panel. And I'm looking, maybe I've not been in government, sir, and I'm looking forward. The day I'll be in government, one of the first things I'm going to look out for is I want to see how this white paper looks like.
Are you looking forward to going to government?
No, in the event if you become the governor, then I cannot have a chance to see
I'm not going for.
Okay, fine. Then it means I may not. It means I may not have a chance to go in there. But if
what did the people make you?
If in the event
but
that
what
I
is the
do,
relationship between Delta State and Abia?
no, another thing too is Guru is not one of those people that his people told to come and run, because usually all of us, our people will tell us that after we have had a meeting with God, God will, and our people will tell us to come and run. But I think more seriously, the president, if this report has been submitted, then there has to be the will to start the implementation, and the will must come at the...
There has to be the way to start the implementation. That is where we round up for today. And I want to thank all of you that participated, and but not too many of them talked to me about the reason why President Muhammadu Buhari is becoming what he has never become in life before so suddenly, the sacking of those two ministers. And are there more to go, or are there more that are supposed to be sacked the way this one is sacked? Those are the questions. Charles, I appreciate you and I keep appreciating you. Don't worry. If I become the Governor General of my village, I will invite you to be my...
Well, I will choose.
All right, Adu. Thank you for doing it very good. Obina, thank you very much. Priswi, thank you very much, because I can see your cameras. They are so sharp. The way I'm looking at my friend picture here now. You may not need to rebrand your COVID-19 protocol beard anymore. You will have seen it here. And to all of you that contributed and all of you, mostly Adeboyega, I want to thank you preciously for the idea of a WhatsApp group. Like as you said, 1,000 naira in a million way will go millions. And what made Obama different when he was coming, after writing that book called Audacity of Hope, he involved every American. How much? And by the time you know what was happening, money was on ground to carry out his campaign. So this is where we end up today's, and of course, Ogo, Anthony, I want to thank you once again for the good job you did by saving lives. That phone number remains 0906 887 0014, and of course, you join me on Facebook, Godwin Etakibebu. And there is a column I created in Facebook which is Vetri column. The V of the veteran is capital letter, the C of the column is capital letter. And of course, you can now join me on the desktop now, Twitter. Am I right?
Yes, yeah.
I do. Invite the people to join your the Twitter. On desktop.
How many of us have the desktops?
Yes. Akeki. Like Mohammed is really taking us to the offer of 350 years ago. It is well. Now, then what again? My website, please go there. Like I'm dropping about 3 articles on the website today. Those 3 articles have much to do with what we brought out questioning this morning. The website is www.godwiththeguru.com, and of course, you can meet me on my YouTube channel, Godwin the Guru. So, have I thanked you?
Yes, you have.
But I cannot thank you enough. Thank you once again. Charles, thank you once again. And please, Monday next week is another date with you. The people are expecting. and you promise them that you'll come.
Thank you for inviting me, sir.
Every family matter that we take your sign that day, we subdue it to the authority of your movement to this studio. All right. So until next week, where we shall be meeting, please keep yourself out of trouble. Bye bye.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.